some kind of medical field of psychology. So we're gonna cover that one too in chapter 3. Chapter 4 is talking about how we can build the techniques, eventually the relationships with using good communication skills. So we're going to cover that chapter 4. Chapter 5, finally, the things that we learn from all chapters, we're going to have actually the practice skills. Until chapter 5, through all things that we learn, students need to kind of prepare that chapter, okay? You have to do yourself some part of that chapter, okay? I'm gonna give you kind of assignment. Okay, chapter 6, public speaking. Especially some other school, they only cover public speaking only, because this is very, very big and important part. So this quarter, we're going to cover a little bit of public speaking. Okay, let's go over briefly the lecture we took last week. At the end of the class, I told you guys to remember 3 key words. Can you remember what it was?
Share, understanding.
Yes, yes. It is very, very important keywords. The communication is understanding. Okay. Okay, communication. This one. Yes, understanding. Communication is understanding. Include yourself and then people around with you or group of people. Then we share informations, not only information, but your emotions, your feelings, ideas. That's the sharing of purpose of the communication. Then, with understanding, sharing information, including emotion, ideas, you need to go little, you need to go dig into a little bit of true meaning of the communication. Somebody says to me, "Oh, now I like you," but you have to kind of little bit of doubt. My friend told me he likes me. With this conversation, you need to find out true meaning of my friend saying, "Mom, I like you." maybe because he needs something from me, right? That's why he says, oh, now I like you. So that's not a good example, but you need to find out the true meaning of the communication. Okay. We covered that one. Okay, now today we're gonna go deeper into chapter 1. Chapter 1 is covering foundation of effective communication. That covers many topics. We have to equip basically to communicate better, understand better, to find true meaning. Eventually, the final goal is good relationship you have to make with people. Could be your family, your friend. Sometimes it broadens to social relationship too. So we're gonna cover what could be the foundation. The next slide shows we covered the keyword understanding, sharing, meaning. When we talk about the foundation of communication skill, remember two things. Every detail, skill, techniques coming from clarity. Okay. Another one is purpose. Foundation about good communication skill. To do this, we have to build kind of techniques, but those techniques coming from two keywords, clarity and purpose. Remember those two keywords. Why we have to make good, clear, understandable communication, let's say, some people say they talk, actually, okay, that's a story of my wife. My wife usually talks what she wants, which is told indirectly. My style is I speak, or when I have something I want, I speak directly. Honey, I want this. I want 짜장면. I want 짬뽕, something like that. But my wife never says what she wants. She say indirectly. Okay, we have ordered food from a Chinese restaurant, the to-go, made to-go, and then food coming in delivered package, 짜장면, 짬뽕, like 탕수육, and then what my wife says, she needs to choose what she wants. But before that, she asked me and my son and my daughter, Who doesn't want jjampong? Who doesn't want jjampong? Raise your hand. Something like that. I'm not saying that's good or bad, okay? Some people say when they want something, they speak in indirect way. That's kind of style. I don't judge that. But if you have good, long-term relationship, you know, right? I mean, what your husband's style is, what your friend's style, then we can understand easily, right? But when we talk to the people you meet first time or kind of, making relationship, the stage is kind of beginning of making relationship, right? Sometimes important thing is you have to make yourself very clear. I mean, making Asian culture, making yourself very clear is sometimes reflects kind of rude, right? That's not, things that we have to do. Anything to do with, rude. If you don't make yourself clear, it makes kind of confusion. Later, it makes misunderstanding each other. Then conflict arise, right? Then there could be argument. So, clarity is very important in communication skill. Okay, if your message is not straight, that falls in misunderstanding. So don't feel like when you talk directly to somebody, or maybe someone fears, what I'm telling, what I want is kind of rude. Don't think that way, okay? You can talk what you want in very polite way, right? Yeah. If you can do that, that's nothing wrong. Also, the second point, if you have manner of, easily understandable talking method, communication method or skill, that help you understand yourself, someone talking to you. Okay, next point. also, to make clarity, you have to avoid special words, kind of very academic words. Let's say some doctors term like, okay, inferior, superior, or what is it, the distal, proximal, that kind of, common people, sometimes they don't, even English speakers, they don't understand when they, some profession use special words. So this slide is saying avoid special word that is used some professions. So it is also important to avoid clarity, to make clarity. Another topic is you have to know your audience before you make announcement or public speak. You have to know who you talk to. Like most of your audience is elementary school student. So you have to use the words, the motion, or other communication, visual communications like slideshow or animations that is very adaptable. And then the elementary student, the way elementary student can understand very easily, right? So that is also very important. If you don't know your audience, when you speak to those audience, that makes confusion, misunderstanding. Eventually, the connection is not made. Before you talk to somebody, always this the kind of strategy skill is saying is depending on what you are prepared for the conversation. That is very important. If you prepare well with what you want and what your opinion, what your idea is, the outcome of result of communication is very different. That depends on how you can prepare the contents of the conversation. So before you talk to somebody or speak to any idea to a group of people, always organize your thoughts, your ideas before you make speech. Try that. That's really important. You can make your husband, your friend understand. And then, like another important thing is use clear language. Not complicated, not the terms, words the profession use. Common language, easy language. And then also it should be very, very be concise. Some people, me, when it is because of my English is not perfect. So I have to, deliver my message to somebody, I have to use, other things. The message to, make my message clear, I do use many different type explanation about my messages, right? But eventually that's not good. Yeah. Don't use many, side explanation for the main messages, okay? With clear, understandable language, go straight, use, common words, not professional words or terms. With those things, you can make yourself clear. Sometimes you can use visual. So common thing is PowerPoint, right? Or video explanation is used. Sometimes when you do a presentation, you use YouTube video. Yeah, that helps. Avoid ambiguity. That's also, okay. And simple thing. Ambiguity is like when I say something to you, the understanding of what I'm saying is interpreted very different way. So avoid those things. Like, okay, 1 + 1 = 2. That's very straight, right? Use those kind of words. When I say, okay, just common example. Let's say friendship goes forever. But some people say, or some people think, yeah, some friendship goes forever. That's right. But another people said, no, that's not that way, right? So avoid those things. When you deliver message clearly, avoid those things. That's ambiguity. And also, another technique is use active voice. I mean, when we talk, this is, okay, I like pizza. That's active voice, right? But some people say, okay, that's not 100%, but sometimes the passive voice is used too, right? But rarely. I like pizza. That's active. But when you talk to somebody, deliver a message, avoid passive. Like pizza is liked by me. Don't use those, the 10 voices, okay? Kind of, indirect way of delivering your message. So always go with active voice. And then, for making clarity of your conversation, that's important part of communication. And then, like I said before, with clarity, another key word we have to know is purpose. Every incident, every relationship there is reason why, and then it force eventually there are purpose. So the communication skill is building good relationship between people. The purpose is very important role to make conversation and then to make the kind of relationship with people. Okay, let's break down a little bit of the purpose of conversation. Okay, first, you see information sharing, okay, like lecture like this, right? Yeah. So you have to focus. What kind of talking is present? You have to know. You have to know your audience. I am just talking to a college student, right? So that purpose is delivering messages. I'm not preaching in the church, right? Then also expressing emotion is part of the purpose of the conversation too. Some Asian culture, we like to avoid expressing our emotions, right? But when you want to build your communication skill, you have to express your emotion. Possibly in a good way, in a good, polite way. That make some people have, the hurt feelings, right? In a very different, complex relationship between people, right? So you have to express. When some friend said, my friend said to me, "Oh, hey, now you so short." Then when my friends say that, to me, I feel kind of hurt. Yeah, because I wanna be big, tall guy. But that hurts my feeling, right? Yeah. So eventually, you have to express, you have to show your feeling to your friends, not in angry mood, right? Very calm, rational way, yeah. Kind of logical way. When you express your emotion, it shouldn't be delivered emotional way, right? Very rational way. Hey, John, one day you told me I'm very short. I'm really hurt, yeah. I tried, but my biological gene, I cannot change. So things that I can do, you improve about myself, you resent me those facts about myself. Yeah. Also, influencing others. What could be influencing others? Let me see. Have you guys heard of TED Talk? There are many celebrities or scholars or the people who work for non-profit organizations, they come on stage, they speak about their experience, right? Like, common non-profit organization like, climate change. So they use that topics and then they deliver messages. They like to influence, other people. We have to save our earth. So that's kind of influencing others. Okay, problem solving. That's also the purpose of the conversation. When you work with many people in the company, I don't know, but some people it's kind of good. It is like that. I really don't like that guy, one guy, but when I work with him, we always make good production with good teamwork. You guys have experienced those things, right? But in the other way, when you work some different, colleagues in your company, even though you like her or she, the outcome was not good. Or when we have many papers, it's kind of, one size doesn't fit all, right? So there should be always kind of, the difference between what they need and what they want to do. So that makes a kind of possibility of making confusion and conflict. So the boss or director in the company, they have a kind of discussion about the conflicts they have between people. Also, that's also very good purpose of the communication. Okay, also decision making is another purpose of conversation. If you are a leader of some group, you have equipped with decision making skill. First, you have to know what people need. These are very different, between people, but you try to find something in common, right? So that's kind of, the skill to make a decision. That's the purpose of conversation. Also, another purpose is cultural transmission. That's also, important purpose of the conversation. Like, say, me, I am Korean. I can transmit Korean traditional culture, kind of norm, the standard to my son, my daughter. Okay, that's another purpose of conversation. When I say to my son, hey son Brian, when you meet person who is older, you have to bow like this. That's the tradition. That's the cultural transmission. I'm not saying that's good or not. Also, learning and education. That's like I said before, it is another purpose of communication. Also, another key point for purpose of communication is coordinate and collaboration between people. Mostly that is happening in the companies, big companies, small companies, because many people work together to make some kind of production, right? So there should be, if you are a leader or a team leader or a division leader, you have to kind of have a skill to make people coordinate, work together each other very good way. Yeah, that's another good point of purpose of the conversation. Also, another purpose is entertainment. The typical example is standing comedy, right? That's the also purpose of the communication. Last one, personal development. This is actually conversation. This is actual talking to yourself. You have to put yourself objectively, talk to you, and you reply to yourself. Okay, I talk to myself, oh, Nam, how was the day today? Then I said, oh, it was very hard, difficult. So what was the reason you had a very difficult, hard time in the work, at the work, right? So that's the self-talking to in your mind. Because we do this, we can make ourselves objectively, we can correct, we can change, especially inside of ourselves, in better way. Okay, like I said, now you had difficult time today. Why? Why did you have difficult time today? So I was kind of tired. When my colleague asked me to help about something, I said no. Then my colleague tells that kind of incident to everybody. So everybody was cursing me. Hey, now why didn't you help, John? That was kind of piece of cake work, right? So those things, yeah. Talk to yourself. Important thing is make yourself objectively, not subjectively. Then talk to yourself. Okay. There are other. Okay. Like I say, the broad purpose of communication is understanding, sharing, find meaning, right? To do this, we have kind of big topics about clarity. When you deliver your message, it is always done in clear way. And then always you have to know the purpose of the conversation and then talk, right? That's main topic. With more detail, the techniques kind of skill, now we're gonna talk about this. Okay, right here, next slide, there's some kind of skill. Those things falls onto clarity and purpose. Okay. Active listening. When you make conversation, and then if you have some purpose, you want to make the good outcome of that conversation, right? Not always you have to make good speaking skill, but also you have to have ear to listen carefully, what other people saying, find what they want, what their idea is, what their feelings. That's important. So active listening is another good skill to make good conversation. Also, empathy. Empathy is also, you have to have empathy. Since you live with people, right? Empathy is, you have to put yourself someone else's position, and in their position, think in their perspective, their worldview, try to understand based on the experience they have. That's the empathy. Kind of what kind of people use the empathy mostly, many times? Can you tell what kind of job title could be? I like documentary. It was crime. When you watch some kind of crime document, what happened at that time, who did something bad to somebody, right? Then there's always the position title comes, crime profiler, right? They have empathy. They put themselves in criminal's position. What if he is criminal? To make the crime scene invisible. So what he could have done for that purpose. That's kind of empathy. Also, empathy is very not only things that is tangible, Also, it is very important, kind of something we cannot see. That's like feelings, emotions. That's also very important. You have to put yourself, someone else's position, feel like themselves. That's important part of communication skill, empathy. Another skill we have to go through non-verbal communication. I'm going to explain a little more. Non-verbal is other than spoken language, motion, pose, body language. Sign language, have you guys heard of sign language?
My daughter learned from the elementary school.
Yeah. Sign language is verbal communication. Okay, some people confuse. Non-verbal is without, the language they speak, right? That's non-verbal. But non-verbal body language is non-verbal. But sign language, like what was common sign language? Hand language, right? That is verbal language. Yeah. Even though you use your hand, communicate with somebody, someone who is deaf or mute, right? That's the verbal language. Even though you use your hands. Another key skill we have to develop is tone and then delivery. Sometimes you need to, some people say some good speakers, some good public speakers, they use tone very different way. Sometimes they use very softly, sometimes they do very loud voice, sometimes they use happy tones, sad tones. That's also another important skill when you deliver your messages. Always delivery, I just put delivery. Delivery means you have to adapt yourself to the audience to deliver better. Okay, that's delivery means. Adaptability, like I said, adaptability. You have to suit yourself kind of empathy to audience position. Think of as your audition in the auditorium, listening what the speaker is saying to you. So that's another skills to develop adaptability. Also, that could be skill or a purpose, conflict resolution. So you have to consider when you have conversation for, with people, they have argument or conflict, fighting. Yeah. So you have to find out that the purpose is resolve the conflict. You need to find out the way, make people understand each other. Finally, resolve the conflict. That's oh shit. Okay, this is problems. Okay. Okay, also feedback, improvement. That's another part. When you do a lecture or any relationship, any conversation, you should not do speak only what you want, what you wanna, tell people to do. That's not good. Always ask feedback from people. Another key term we consider is ethical considerations. Ethic is kind of the principles, a standard about, could be kind of norm about what is wrong, what is right, what is bad, what is good, what is justice, what is injustice. I'm gonna explain more next slide. The dictionary explanation. Okay, so cultural awareness is also important. Most of your audience, I'm Korean, most of your audience is Japanese culture background. So you have to aware, right? Not fully, but things like what Japanese people like, what Japanese people don't like, little bit of history of Japanese country, right? So you have to aware those things. Okay, here, this is not good. Okay. Last quarter I taught religious, Christian, professional, and its ethics in church ministry, another school. People confused. Okay, what is ethic? Okay. Okay, people got confused. Okay. Basically, in our normal life, we know what is wrong, what is right, what is bad, what is good. A little bit of different depends on what kind of culture you experienced before, right? But anyway, let's say stealing something, hiding something is bad, right? But that depends on the degrees, right? It could be different, depend on the culture. So, ethics, moral virtue, that is about the things that I said. Hiding is, stealing is, depends on the degrees. The dictionary explanation is this one. Okay? So ethic is kind of Okay, let's go with more. Okay, some my friends say, "Hi, Nam, you have bad more." That means my friends saying you don't have feeling about when you see somebody is stealing or somebody is beaten by big guy. I don't care. I will just walk away. Then my friend said, "Hey, Nam, you have bad more. At least you have to call the police, right? That's the more." Okay. And then experience when I was little kid, I stole money from my mother's. But still, the grown-ups, some people do those things too. They have a bad more. Ethic is same as moral, okay? But different setting. Let's say there are different ethics. Let's say professors' ethics and doctors' ethics, and then some officials working for government, right? They have ethics. Let's say common ethics could be, okay, you are professional working in hospital. There are kind of, the policy, law, or code. I don't know if you guys heard of HIPAA, Hospital Information Accountability, something. What it's saying is you cannot release, you cannot tell your patient's information to somebody. You cannot sell someone else's information to certain company. That's the ethic, right? So me as professor, I have ethics. Even though some students, they don't answer when I ask, I cannot resent them, right? That's the ethics about as professor. Try to give them encouragement. And then virtue is same as moral ethics. Only difference is virtue is higher standard of ethics. Who could be like Jesus? Yeah, people who have those kind of level. Okay, next. Let's see. We have 30 minutes. Now, we covered the communication. Effective communication, I want you to remember several key words from our last 2 weeks. We learned about understanding, sharing, finding true meaning, That's the big, broad range of the communication purpose. Some details fall from those three keywords. Okay? To make good conversation, we have to kind of equip some skills, techniques coming from two things: clarity, clear understanding. That's one. Another one is, what is purpose of the conversation? So techniques coming from those two keywords. Okay? Details, you don't need to remember, just go over them, right? But I don't want you to forget is three keywords, two keywords. Okay? So that's up to this point. Now we are going to talk about the types of communication. There are many different types of communication. Commonly, what we know is verbal communication. Verbal communication is another type of different, various type of communication. Okay, first, let's. I don't know. I don't think I have list. Okay, verbal communication. That is simple. That is using of spoken language to convey information, thoughts, ideas, feelings, emotions between people. Very simple definition. Spoken language. That's verbal communication. That's most common, most effective way of conversation, right? Like, when you see the human history, I'm not saying about Bible, okay? We were evolved from the monkey, that's right. The reason why we have big, size of the brain, that's because we have built ability to communicate each other, actually with language. Okay, next. Okay, there are also non-verbal communication. Most common thing is what? Body language. Or sometimes eye contact. Your eye tells you many things, right? Yeah. If you contact, your eye will, you can find, someone is needing something badly, even though they don't tell you what they want, right? You know that. Sometimes you find out when you look at their eyes, or you can find someone is very angry. That's kind of body language. Facial expression, gesture, posture, that's all non-verbal communication. We cannot disregard non-verbal. You cannot say only spoken verbal communication is primary. Nothing like that. When you communicate with somebody, if you use body language, that helps to communicate better. So you practice using your body language. Okay? Body language, facial, eye contact, hand gesture. This is not sign language, okay? This is when I say, okay, that's another form of body language. Okay, show you the difference between verbal, non-verbal language. Okay, here, oral. Okay, orally, that's spoken language. That's verbal communication. Non-verbal, laughing, crying. Crying, laughing is not language, right? Language means actually people speak, but all the language on earth different from countries, different from ethnic groups, right? But laugh, crying, same. All people on the earth, we do same expression of the facial. That's non-verbal. Laughing, crying, coughing, like something like that. Intentionally, you do this, right? Non-oral, okay. Don't get confused. Written language, sign language, that's verbal language. We use text. We express the language on the text. That's verbal communication. Okay? Not only speaking. Verbal means we use form of language. Language is written as text. That's verbal communication. Other than that, non-verbal. So if you want to distinguish the different main verbal communication, non-verbal. Other than those two things, other communication types can fall into, either both category. Okay, actually, it doesn't really matter. Just you have to know there are many different type of language. Okay, so with those different type of language, some different language type is sometimes it is very suitable to a certain situation. Okay, so if you know many different type of language, you can communicate better. That's nothing like wrong or right. Okay, written communication. People use written word, convey idea, information. So, professors, journal, report, the poem, right? And novel, those things. And then news report, email, memo, that's all written language. Now another form of communication we use is visual communication. Now we are all live in a digital era. We use those. I don't know. I kind of miss kind of old-fashioned style. Okay, that's another story. Okay, when I was college boy, I called my friend. Hey, John. Okay. Hey, 철수. Let's meet in Busan, Korea. Okay, let's meet Nampodong around 2 p.m. in front of what was their name? I don't even. I kind of miss those things. We didn't have cell phone. We didn't have car talk. That time was sometimes when we have appointment with friend in front of the theater. Sometimes friends coming from different directions. Sometimes the traffic is too heavy, right? I late 1 hour, 2 hour. When there still friends are, my friends are there waiting for me. I miss those time. Anyway, okay, visual communication. Nowadays, people don't wait more than 5 minutes. Right? For those, phenomenon is affected by digital era. In digital era, we want something that I can see. In analog era, some people say, I read the book. The imagination was going on my brain. But nowadays, people don't want to do that anymore, right? But still, there are people reading books, novels. But mostly, as me, I don't read books anymore. I just watch YouTube. I learn from YouTube. But we cannot say that's wrong, but that's what is nowadays now, right? So to communicate better with people, we have to understand and know what it is. So visual communication is, PowerPoint presentation, there's chart, graphs, right? Yeah, that's basic visual communication. Images, videos, digital communication too. Yeah, we use many visual things when we do email. We send picture, we send video, we send link of YouTube. We don't type anymore. many paragraphs. We just send link of YouTube. Yeah, social media, Instagram. We are. There's a good thing about nowadays coming the digital era. People meet together in one platform. like Zoom, right? We use Zoom a lot, many times. I am operating online K-12 Christian school. I use Zoom. There are students coming from Africa, Asia, Nepal, sometimes Japan, Korea, Cambodia. We adjust the time, the very specific time. Everybody can join together. Then the teacher teaching math, English. Yeah, that's good thing about the digital era. One-way, two-way communication. One way is not good, not bad. It is nothing like that, okay? Sometimes you just need to deliver one way direction to deliver messages. You don't need to have reply from audience. Sometimes we need to have skills. Okay, that's another type of. You don't have always, feedback from our audience. That's two-way. There are also another way. That's one way. You just deliver a message, go away. Interpersonal communication, like that's interpersonal, people, interrelationship. Anyone, any group of people, any personal communication. That's interpersonal communication. That's group. Yeah. Another form of communication is group communication. Let's say in the Zoom, we have a group of teacher, and then the other side of a group of students, right? We talk each other, we communicate each other in the beginning of new semester. That's group communication. Okay, group communication, like I said, that involves multiple, individual communicate each other, with one another. That's group communication. It could be, mass meeting, team collaboration. Let's say team collaboration. In the company, we have software development division, right? Or another division, you have a software marketing division. Two different groups. When they have new program developed, they communicate. That's group communication. Yes, I think that's today's lecture. Any question? Anything you don't like? If there's anything you don't understand, you don't like, I try to make this lecture very interesting and enjoyable and in kind of funny way. Yeah. If you fall asleep, let me know. Okay. Bye.